Let's be honest for a second. When the news broke that EAMONN Holmes and Ruth Langsford were split, it felt personal. For years, they were the TV mom and dad of daytime television. We watched them bicker over the small stuff, laugh over the silly stuff, and support each other through the heavy stuff. They were the couple that made marriage look real, not the airbrushed, Instagram-filtered version, but the messy, funny, complicated reality of sharing a life with someone for decades. So, when the announcement came, it felt like a shift in the atmosphere. But recently, amidst the noise and the rumors that inevitably swirl around a high-profile divorce, a simple sentiment emerged from EAMONN's camp regarding Ruth finding happiness again. She deserves it. 3 words, that's it. But oh, do those 3 words carry a lifetime of weight? The power of 3 little words. In a world where celebrity breakups often devolve into public mudslinging, cryptic social media posts, and lawyer-fueled wars, hearing a sentiment like "she deserves it" feels like a breath of fresh air. But it also feels like a punch to the gut, in the most bittersweet way possible. Why? Because it requires an incredible amount of grace to wish happiness for someone who is no longer finding that happiness with you. We've all been there, haven't we? Maybe not on a national television scale, but we've all felt the sting of a chapter closing. We know that burning desire to be the one who wins the breakup. It is human nature to want to protect our egos. When we are hurt, when we are lonely, or when we are navigating the scary unknown of a new life, the easiest thing to do is to get bitter. Bitterness is easy. Bitterness is armor. But saying "she deserves it," that is the removal of the armor. It is an admission that despite the pain, despite the separation, and despite the fact that life looks different now, the love, or at least the deep respect, hasn't vanished. It has just changed shape. The complexity of long-term love. Let's dig a little deeper into what this actually means for us. EAMONN and Ruth spent decades together. You don't just erase that history. When you've been with someone that long, they are woven into the fabric of who you are. They know how you take your tea, they know your biggest insecurities, and they know exactly how to push your buttons. When EAMONN suggests that Ruth deserves happiness, he isn't just being polite. He's acknowledging a truth that is hard for many of us to swallow. Sometimes, 2 good people can no longer be good together. That doesn't make the years wasted. It doesn't make the memories fake. It just means the season has changed. I think that's why this story resonates so deeply with so many of us. We look at them and we see our own fears about aging and being alone. But we also see a roadmap for how to handle it. We see that it is possible to survive the heartbreak and come out the other side with your dignity and your humanity intact. True maturity is when you realize you can want the best for someone, even if that best no longer includes you. Why we root for Ruth and EAMONN. There is something undeniably poignant about watching Ruth Langsford navigate this. She has handled herself with a quiet dignity that speaks volumes. She shows up, she does her job, and she keeps moving forward. When we hear EAMONN say she deserves happiness, we nod along because we've watched her. We've seen her care for him during his health battles. We've seen her maintain her professionalism when things must have been crumbling behind the scenes. But we should also spare a thought for EAMONN. It takes a big person to stand amidst the ruins of a marriage, battling significant health issues and physical pain, and still put that positive energy out into the universe for an ex-partner. It reminds us that we are the authors of our own narratives. We can choose to be the victim, the villain, or the person who simply tried their best. In this moment, despite the tabloid headlines trying to stir the pot, choosing the narrative of "she deserves it" is a reclaiming of power. It says, "I value what we had enough to honor you as you move forward." What this means for you. So why are you reading this right now? Maybe you're going through a split yourself. Maybe you're watching a friend navigate a divorce. Or maybe, like me, you're just fascinated by the human capacity for resilience. Here is the takeaway I want you to hold on to today. Forgiveness and grace are not for the other person. They are for you. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When EAMONN releases that sentiment that she deserves happiness, he is freeing himself too. He is letting go of the need to control the outcome or the public perception, and simply resting in the truth. If you are holding on to a grudge today, or if you are terrified of a relationship ending because you don't know who you'll be without it, look at this situation. Life goes on. Happiness is not a finite resource. Her having it doesn't mean he can't have it too. You can survive the things you think will kill you. Let's keep the conversation going. We often look at celebrities as if they are a different species, but at the end of the day, heartbreak hits us all the same. The difference is, they have to do it with the world watching. I think EAMONN and Ruth are teaching us a masterclass in the long goodbye. It's messy, it's sad, but it's also full of moments of profound humanity. If this story struck a chord with you, you aren't alone. We are building a community here of people who are navigating life's messy middle chapters, the breakups, the career changes, the empty nests, and the new beginnings. We talk about the real stuff, no filters, no judgment, just real life. If you're ready to stop just getting by and start finding the grace in your own struggles, I'd love for you to join us. We send out a weekly newsletter called The Silver Lining, where we dive deep into stories just like this one, finding the hope, the lesson, and the humor in the chaos of modern life. Don't navigate this chapter alone. Click the link below to subscribe. Let's figure this out together. Because if Ruth deserves happiness and EAMONN deserves peace, then you certainly deserve to be part of a community that supports you. Subscribe to The Silver Lining here.